All right. The Arrow Podcast, guys. It's the one and only, your boy Abraham here. Look, man, there's a bunch of things to go over today. Let's try and stay focused, but let's jump into this upcoming Bills matchup. Also, let's get a little bit into this most recent Texans versus Chiefs matchup where we kind of steamrolled them in the divisional round playoffs. Let's jump in.
Red and gold, red and gold, red and gold.
Okay, first off, how do we do against the Texans? How will we do against the Bills? Well, how we will do against the Bills, we'll get into that. But let's jump right into this whole Texans thing, man. And this, guys, give me a break. This could possibly turn into a rant at times, because the fact, and honestly, I don't even know where to begin. The fact that you got a coach talking about the refs is just pathetic. And I can assure you that he won't much longer be the head coach of that team. I assure you. See, I anticipated Antonio Pierce. It was kind of easy, but it was mainly because of how he talked. You know what I mean? You don't get on a podcast and say, hey, I got the blueprint to beat Patrick Mahomes. We beat him one time, but we also lost to him one time. But I got the blueprint to beat Patrick Mahomes. Remember, guys, we can't beat the Raiders, Chargers, Broncos. We can't beat them every single year. Even though we did the Broncos and 5, 6 years straight, and the Raiders 3, 4 years straight. The Chargers, well, the Chargers kind of been on and off, but when we need to beat the Chargers, we've always beat them. But long story short, man, the coach, that was a low blow. That was pathetic. The players doing it, man, it's laughable when the players do it because it means nothing. Definitely when it's Joe Mixon, who's haven't had the best of luck playing against the Kansas City Chiefs, considering he was on the Bengals. So now that just fuels the flat earthers. You guys that have been watching me know who the flat earthers are, but we will continuously, I'll, you know, I'll continuously explain who the flat earthers are, which is not much of an explanation. It's the conspiracy theorists. The guys that think 9/11 was an inside job, the guys who, we didn't land on the moon, the guys who think the earth's flat. Yeah, the guys with no common sense, point blank. The conspiracy theorists, you know what I mean? They make a conspiracy theory out of everything and anything. So, the refs help us as if, we were gonna lose to the Texans of all people. Yeah, we needed the refs to beat the Texans. Huh. Considering the history with the Texans in the playoffs. Remember 24-0, we came back and destroyed them and won by like 3 touchdowns, scored like 50 points, something like that. Come on, guys. I mean, this is it now. Honestly, it's laughable. It is. But when you got media and analysts doing it, I did watch. It wasn't a podcast. It was on ESPN or something like that, and I think it was Dan Orlowski was talking about how the Kansas City Chiefs are the most disrespected dynasty in sports history. And I highly agree. But then you had some lady across the panel who no one knows who she is, and to me it was pathetic. But anyways, no, that's just a narrative you made up in your head. Meanwhile, all you hear, bro. I mean, I'm even at work hearing this from guys that don't even watch, that don't even know anything about football. Probably don't even know couldn't name an offensive lineman on any team. Couldn't name anybody on any team who are, the referees are helping you guys. It's just, at this point, man, it's laughable. Considering, because guys, I gotta tell you something. And I'll come clean, straight up. I did it. With the Patriots. I did it. And there isn't a moment that isn't more clear than, I know exactly how that feels. than now, considering I did see, but I wasn't that bad, right? Because I did know, hey, oh, the refs helped the Patriots, but at the end of the day, bro, guess what? I was going to watch football on Sunday. Like you guys out there, there's probably some of you watching this right now. You're going to watch football on Sunday. You're going to watch us against the Bills. The same people that are continuously every game. The refs help the Chiefs. The refs this. The refs that. Bro, we've been a top 3 most penalized team since the Mahomes era. Look it up. Look up the stats. It's all over the place. But it doesn't matter. I'm not even going to waste my time on that because they're not going to go look. You know what I mean? It's just a different day and age, man. When these guys, you got sheep. There's sheep everywhere, man. They're followers, right? When there's one sheep that goes into the picket fence and gets trapped, the other sheep come in and get trapped with them, right? And there's a narrative that everyone's running with. And you know what, dude? At the same time, I don't blame them. Chiefs Kingdom. Well, because we've been there. So I can't even ask you, hey, Chiefs Kingdom, how would you feel if this was another team? We've gone through it. And we didn't act like this. There wasn't a pandemonium. There wasn't petitions to investigate if we lost on purpose against the Broncos. When we sat all of our starters, practically all of them. Well, yeah, you guys said all your starters, but you lost on purpose. I'm going to get 20,000 sad soul sheep to sign a petition. All of you, please, all of you that sign that petition, God rest your soul. You need some help, okay? For one. Now, those of you that are trolling, it is what it is, right? You got the trolls that are just kind of laughing because it's like, oh yeah, you just beat them because of refs, right? But it's a little more than that now, man. We're in a different day and age, guys. But enough of that. The Texans got steamrolled. It is what it is. They made too many mistakes. They're on the couch with the conspiracy theorists and the Texan fans. So moving on to the Bills game. Guys, I'll be honest with you. See, I was a little nervous until that game was played against the Ravens. The Bills didn't beat the Ravens. The Bills did not beat the Ravens. The Bills didn't score in the second half, the entire second half. Do you guys remember how we looked? Do you guys remember how we looked when we didn't score in the second half? It took a few games to get that, just kind of get that bad mojo out of us. I do think that continues. I do think that continues come Sunday in Gia Field, Arrowhead. I do think that continues. I do think that they don't score. If they do score, they score about 3 points in the second half. So we need to beat them in the first and second quarter, which I just can't see them scoring too much. It ain't going to be like the Ravens. Now, the Ravens beat themselves. 3 turnovers, and a dropped ball to tie the game by their best tight end, which was it was pathetic to me. Raven fans, I feel bad for you. Honestly, dude, I have no issue and quarrel with the Ravens. I never had. I truly, sincerely felt bad for Lamar Jackson. Now, Lamar Jackson did kind of shoot himself in the foot, but to me, in my eyes, that was Mark Andrews, bro. The fumble and then the drop wide open. Ooh, Raven fans. You guys, this right here, that would have been broken glass. All that stuff would have still been in there, but the glass would have been broken, and I'd have a cut on my forehead because I would have headbutted that glass. Point blank, period. So, I do feel for you guys. But, long story short, the Bills did not beat the Ravens. The Ravens beat themselves. And that, honestly, watching that game now, do teams play differently? Yes, Josh Allen always has a good game against us, but I think that's going to be the X factor. I think that our defense and our defensive coordinator is kind of tired of letting Josh Allen kind of run all over us because that's what he's been doing. How many hurdle snapshots do you got out there of our, defensive players getting hurtled over, getting steamrolled, getting ran over by Josh Allen? I think it ends on Sunday. I truly do. Now we'll see how my feelings, we'll see how my tuition, if how correct it is. But I did anticipate us losing against the Bengals. The season that we lost to the Bengals and they went on to the Super Bowl to lose to the Rams, and ultimately not have any rings right now. But anyways,
But yeah, I have a good feeling this time around, man. I truly do. And Sunday, I guess we'll see. And you will see me, win or lose. Now, I am a little more nervous because the Bills are different. And the reason why I say that is because the Bills do remotely remind me of us. The last few years, we had no receiver. We didn't have no big names on offense, obviously, besides Travis Kelsey, but we didn't have no big name receivers, right? And we did what we did. We won the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? And they do remind me, but see, the difference in that is their defense is not as dominant as ours. And that will bite you in the foot because we've seen it obviously happen to us. So their offense reminds me of us, but their offense it stalled against the Ravens. So I do have a very good feeling about this game coming up, man. Now, one thing which we did last time, we played them in week 11, I believe, is obviously we have to stop the run, obviously. But number one is Josh Allen. I believe we need to play Josh Allen like we play Lamar Jackson because it has changed, right? We need to play run first, man. You know what I mean? Now, they'll get theirs. They will. Obviously, we're going to need our corners to step up. Point blank period. Thank God we got Jalen Watson back. Oh my gosh, because going into this game without Jalen Watson and Nazi Johnson and Shamari Connor, I don't understand why they're on the field still, man. I I have grown completely sick of Nazi Johnson and Shamari Connor. Go look. Every time a pass is completed, a touchdown scored, a deep pass is thrown and completed, it is 9 times out of 10 done on Nazi Johnson or Shamari Connor. But I won't get into that because, yeah, I don't want to. I don't want this to get ugly. Let's keep this PG-13. Not too happy about those two guys, obviously. But anyways, Jalen Watson being back will. Oh wow, got a little too close there. Huh. Jalen Watson being back will boost our secondary. Jalen Watson didn't play in week 11. Charles Omenihu didn't play in week 11. We also had Wanye Morris at left tackle. Might as well have had me at left tackle at what, 160 soaking wet, 165. Yeah, might as well have had me at left tackle. Anyways, we now have Joe Thuney, who is doing a good job. Now, he was a little shaky against the Texans, but guess what? He did tighten up. And overall, he was 1,000 times better than Wanye Morris and Kingsley Suamate and DJ Humphries, period. Point blank. So, Joe Thuney at left tackle now is going to change everything. So, we didn't have Pacheco. We didn't have Hollywood Brown. So, well, Pacheco, yeah. We'll see, though. Obviously, he's, his coming off of his injury. Obviously, every week he should be advancing. So we shall see. But I do believe it is going to be night and day. I do think that the Bills are going to try and do things that they did last time. Sometimes, guys, and I'll be honest with you, sometimes I won't say purposely because of the conspiracy theorists, but sometimes when we lose to the Bills in the regular season, I'm left just like, that's kind of mind boggling. And I'm left thinking in my head, well, we normally don't do that. And we normally put spies on running quarterbacks that normally run all the time. And we normally don't leave the wide open, we don't leave the middle wide open. We usually do stunts on our defensive line. So Josh Allen can't just run right up the middle without a spy on him. So it's ultimately what I'm saying is our games seem very vanilla game plan wise when we play the Bills in the regular season. Almost like we're kind of setting them up in the playoffs. We will see. But we shall also test my tuition and test my feelings because I got a real good feeling about this. And I do believe that we three-peat. And I am starting to believe also that the Commanders beat the Eagles. I do. I do think that the Eagles are going in a little banged up. I do think that Jalen Hurts is not going to be 100%. I'm almost assured of that. And I do think that the Commanders, shockingly, I think it's going to be an upset over the Eagles. I do. Truly. It's but to be fair, to be honest with you, it's 50-50 at the same time. But or excuse me, I say 51 Commanders, 49 Eagles, right? Because that's what a lot of people are thinking. Bills versus Chiefs is it's 50-50, it's up in the air. I don't think so, man. I truly don't. I think it's actually 60-40. 40 obviously 40% Bills, right? 60% Chiefs. I do think that we have a little bit of extra motivation going into this game, and I just think that the focus, I think it's a little too much. I think these guys, I think they want this Super Bowl more than the last two. That is what I truly believe. So, and the fact that we got the last two, considering, right, how those seasons went, yeah. So, we shall see, man. But game plan wise, attack Josh Allen. The main focus. It's almost like just let those guys run. Use their safeties obviously to shadow, for the deep ball. But I think the main thing is Josh Allen running on third and shorts, third and fives, third and six, third and goal, second and goal. You just watch Josh Allen. You're going to have to put a spy on him almost every other play. Third, fourth down has to have a spy on him. 100%. So we shall see, fellas. Can't wait. I'm ecstatic. And I probably won't be doing another video until after that game. So please, Chiefs, let's just get this three-peat, man. Let's go. Come on, guys. Let's get this three-peat, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I got for you guys, man. Don't forget, guys, if you want to support the channel, man, I do got some things upcoming that I am going to shift around a little bit, definitely for the off season. But if you want to help your boy out, man, hit that subscribe button, like, and tell me how y'all feel. Tell me how y'all feel about this whole ref narrative down in the comments. And y'all give me your guys' score prediction. Seriously, please, all y'all out there, comment y'all score prediction and maybe how nervous you are, Chiefs Kingdom, not the Flat Earthers, about this upcoming game, man, against the Bills, guys. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. You already know, man. Help me help you. And I am Outros.
Yeah, we running out of time. 1-5, catch me in the end.